It is over for the Marines. This internal conflict has been brewing for over 38 years, especially after the God Valley incident, where the Celestial Dragon's culling games was taking place to wipe out the entire island's population as a sport. However, as we all know, Rocksteady Xebec attacked to take his stolen treasure back, leading to a team up between Garp and Gold D. Roger to stop this menace. While this event has been scrubbed from the history books to paint the Marines as the good guys through Garp heralded as the hero, the Marines involved would never be able to unsee the God's Knights and the Celestial Dragons wiping out entire islands of innocence as justice. I bet there had been other high-ranking Marines in the government throughout Emu's 800-year reign who saw similar events and wanted to enact change, but none were at the level of Garp. Because Garp in his prime was the strongest Marine alive, meaning bro wouldn't go down without a fight causing massive damage in the process, which could threaten the balance between the emperors and the world government forces. It gets even more difficult if you factor in the government turning him into a hero of the Marines, a walking propaganda piece to showcase the might of the organization. Like apparently in the new season of One Piece live action, we even see that they have a whole ass musical play based on God Valley, like a propagandized version of God Valley for the Marines. So they couldn't get rid of him even if they wanted. Either way, Big Man Garp didn't even with the Celestial Dragons to begin with. Like, bro was so vexed that he turned down every promotion opportunity to make him an admiral, because an admiral answers directly to the Celestials. If one of them microwaves their burrito and that is cold in the middle, like it always is, Charlos will hit up Admiral Akainu, the red bitch, to come and fix it. That's how it works. We saw this firsthand at Sabaody, when the Celestials used the threat of an admiral showing up if they are challenged to scare everyone into following their whims. This use case of a Marine goes against everything Garp stands for. He became a vice admiral to protect the downtrodden from being looted and abused by evildoers, but with God Valley, he started to recognize that as a Marine, he would only be allowed to help the ones recognized by the Celestial Dragons because basically they're the ones who pay them. Low-key, it's kind of like a mafia protection racket, like gotta pay up or you're kind of fucked. Now, you might be asking, why did Garp still stay in this rotten system? Well, it's not the Marines themselves who are bad. It's the ones who have control over this force. The theme of there being good and bad on both sides of pirates and Marines has been present since the very start of One Piece. We saw this back in chapter 1 with Alvida, a selfish pirate, being contrasted to Kobe, who later becomes a Marine fighting for justice. On the other hand, we have Luffy, a pirate who risks his life to protect people, facing off against Axe Hand Morgan, a corrupt Marine abusing his power. It's not the Marine organization itself that is broken, it's the world government, the puppet masters behind it all. The Marines are just one branch of many. Cypher Pole, the judges at Enies Lobby, the Holy Knights, CP0, all serving the Celestial Dragons and the Gorosei's oppressive world order. But here's the real tragedy. Despite all of their corruption, the Marines are still the only global organization that claims to protect the people. Think about it like there's no international pirate alliance built around saving civilians. Even Whitebeard, as noble as he was, only protected his own territories. Luffy's goal isn't to build a peacekeeping force, it's to be free, to live on his own terms, not to run a government or defend every island. That's why Garp stays. He knows that if he walks away, the only ones left are those who obey the Celestial Dragons. Garp understands that the Marines are the only force with the infrastructure and reach to protect the world if led by the right people, and so he fights from within. He trains Kobe, he raises dragon, and possibly even creates sword, planting seeds for a Marine force that can one day break free from the world government's chains. That's why he was so hell-bent on turning Ace and Luffy into Marines so they can help in this cause. Garp's life is honestly a contradiction, a man who serves the enemy to protect the future. He isn't perfect, but deep down he believes the Marines could become what they pretend to be, true force for justice once the corrupt rulers at the top are gone. This is where a rift between father and son happened, resulting in Dragon leaving the Marines Marines to start the Freedom Fighters, whose stated goal is also to help the people by destroying the current system. But instead of fighting for the change from inside the Marines like Garp, Dragon chose external change through force, while Garp stayed to make change from the inside by instilling his values and his way of justice onto the next generation. But by the end of One Piece, both of these forces will collide to create a beast of an army which will bring true change. And if they succeed, the world of One Piece will finally be free. Just like you'll be free after watching the peak Monkey That Beat Dragon video on screen right now. And buy some gamer subs. Code ABD 10% off.